So I've been working on an idea of doing a musical intro for the WatchTower.
Let's roll with it then.
I'm ready.
Let's see, ready? So it goes something like this, like the WatchTower, watching every movie so we don't watch the cable guy. What?
The This is what we're gonna do, right? I mean,
so how do we go about firing this guy?
Hey, he's at least suspended.
Austin,
Hey, you guys are lucky I'm a guest on the show right now.
Wait, pause on the podcast. We're doing Drag Me to Hell. I watched Halloween. I thought we were doing Halloween.
Oh my
Are
god.
you kidding me that
No, I'm sorry.
welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Tower Cast for our episode 10.
WatchTower.
So watch that.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, on the film world, in the film universe, to the WatchTower. For today's episode number 10, we got Drag Me to Hell. And before we get things started, I want to give a quick shout out to Carlos de la Torre, our host who's missing. He's having women problems or something like that. He's just getting married, something like that. But also on the lighting side, we got a guy that'll light your life, and if you're not careful, he'll light your girl. It's Michael DeLo.
Wow, I've never been described like that before.
Intro,
Thank you.
And then on the local side, we got a Yoko guy. I really don't know his name, but
Yoko.
Hello,
You got the
we got
Yoko.
Kristen Yokomoto. And then on the dark side, who's actually with us today? Some say he's the Beethoven behind the editing keys, and he hates turtles for some reason. We got Austin Young.
Yo.
Hashtag hate
Wow.
turtles.
And then on the
Inspiring
dark
turtles.
side, all the way from the depths of hell. If he's not Lucifer himself, he's pretty damn good friends with him, I guess. We got Eric Sanchez.
Nice.
Yo.
Anybody else just waiting for Gasso to be like, and let's get ready to rumble?
And let's get
Yeah, I
ready
know.
to
Like,
go.
what is this? Some fucking fight?
I appreciate you guys,
Put your toots up.
joining us today. Today we have Drag Me to Hell, which was picked by Sir Yokomoto. I don't know why, but
Right here,
tell us.
right here.
Tell us
Because
why,
it's
man.
awesome.
All right,
That's
all
why.
right.
All right, it's
Because
our
if we're
first-
gonna have a good October this year, it's gonna start off with Drag Me to Hell.
Yeah, let's just.
Nice.
We can
Yeah, this is our
start
first
off by
film
saying
for
that.
our Oktoberfest, and I guess we're gonna start with Drag Me to Hell, and eventually we're gonna have Halloween, right? Michael Myers,
Yes,
I'd hope
greatest
so.
bad guy ever.
The Shape. Yeah.
The Shape.
Yeah, that's what he's called in the movie. The Shape.
Isn't he
Wait.
the Boogeyman or the Sandman or?
Yeah, he has many names like Boogeyman, and then they call him The Shape. I guess in the book they call him The
Yeah,
Shape.
Wait,
what's the
They
face-
call it the shape.
Yeah.
the guy from Star Trek.
That's an actual like.
Oh. Wait, it's so funny. Wait. What happened? We're starting talking about Halloween right off the back.
No. Okay.
That's
just
just
a
that we better
preview,
end with that
preview.
one. Wait, just Drag Me to Hell, Yokomoto, get us back on track.
Yeah. Drag Me to Hell, Yokomoto. Why this film out of all the horror films you could pick for the start of our October series in WatchTower?
So the big thing about this is that I was thinking because this was gonna be like my turn to choose the movie, and then since it was gonna be right on October, I thought, okay, what type of movie can encapsulate celebrating what is horror, what is Halloween, what is October, and I just went with Drag Me to Hell because it encapsulates the best part of Halloween, which is to be fun.
Okay.
Drag Me to Hell is just fun as hell. It's a roller coaster ride. It's not like super deep. It's not.
It's got a little bit of comedic to it too, man.
It's a horror comedy. It's a horror comedy, and if you know Sam Raimi, especially like if you know his Evil Dead roots, you're gonna have that same humor here, where the protagonist is gonna get punished, like there is no cop outs for like, oh, it's just gonna be a gentle smooth ride for the protagonist. Nah.
Well, it's about
this
her
one,
trying to
he
get
gets
like the
punished.
raise, right? And it's like against her and the other guy trying to get the assistant manager job, and she has to do one, credit check, and she doesn't want to do it because it's this old lady who's crazy, and that's
And then
pretty cool.
it was all up to her too, because like, she had the choice to give her another, like I guess a loan. What was it, like something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a loan, a mortgage.
Yeah, and like she was like she tried to be like have balls and like and show in front of her boss like, oh no, I'm just gonna say no to her, you know?
But then the lady took it to the next level and started begging.
Oh yeah, you shame me.
Don't do
You
that,
shame me.
yeah.
I'm like, oh goddamn gypsies, of course. And
So,
then
yeah, then,
right off the back, the movie is very animated. Like it's Evil Dead. It's a spin-off of Evil Dead, essentially.
Yeah, it could be placed in the same universe.
Oh yeah, totally. It totally can, because like it even has like it brings back like the Deadites almost, sort of like their own version of Deadites.
I've never been a big fan of the Evil Dead. I never caught those. Like, what is that?
Those are fantastic movies.
It's got a little bit of Drag Me to Hell to them, or what?
Oh yeah, this is like
actually
spin-off of Evil Dead almost.
You
Where it's
could
like
say, yeah.
it's wild. It's like very animated. Like, come on, like that one part where like it shows like the big anchor or like the metal thing that falls on top of the lady. That was like, oh come on, that was straight up Looney Tunes. Which I think Sam Raimi and his brother, they're like fans of Looney Tunes or something.
Yeah,
it's
and,
very like cartoony. That's what it is.
I've never heard these are the guys that also directed Spider-Man.
Yeah,
That is correct.
What a weird
Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi, one of the
the first three Spider-Mans. Yeah.
Oh, okay, and I
Yeah,
guess
the
he got
original
back to
trilogy.
he got back to his tracks of horror and came up with Drag Me to Hell.
I think this movie came out before Spider-Man 3. I think. I'm not
No, it
sure.
was after.
man.
After?
That was after.
We started losing it around this time.
Okay, so it was before Oz. Okay, yeah.
Yes, this was
Nice.
before us. It was like that one. It's kind of like what happened with Josh Whedon. He goes and directs with this big movie with the Avengers. Then out of nowhere, he pops up with this little movie called what was that? That Shakespeare movie that he did in his house. In his house.
Michael, you should know this.
The
How was it?
you're not
Oh,
referring
yeah,
to
he
like
comes in black and white with all his like.
you're not referring to like
Much-
the
much
modern
ado about
remake
nothing.
one.
Come on,
What to
Raimi.
do about nothing? That's one. So he just like pops it out of nowhere, like, oh yeah, this is a between project type of thing. So basically, Sam Raimi did this with.
I feel like these are like his little projects that he was working while he was working on the big projects. You know, his little.
Yeah, because I think he likes making like horror films. Like that's what he started with the whole first Evil Dead being like a serious horror film. Like it wasn't like very comedic, and if it was just that campiness from it.
Yeah, it was
The
mostly
second
because of the
one-
low budget thing, and like. you
Yeah,
could
it was
see, like,
very low
okay.
budget.
Oh,
And
dude,
then
I fell
until
in
the
love with
second one. Whoa, that one
with
just
the main actress, man.
they didn't give a shit anymore on the second one.
And what about the main actress, man? She never came out in anything else. Alison
Lohman?
Lohman?
I
Yeah.
think I've seen her before. At first, I
she's
thought she was Pam Beesly from The Office. I'm like, wait, is that her?
No way, she's way cuter, man. Pam Beesly. Sorry, Austin.
And she's if you've seen Matchstick Men with.
Oh, that's
with Kate,
true.
She's the girl in it. She's the little girl in it.
She's the little girl in it. That's right. And then we also got Justin Long, dude.
That's
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
make a
this
porno.
is so much.
He was the hilarious in that one, dude.
He's that dude who comes on. This is the end, right? The friend, I think, Seth Rogen's friend.
Yeah, he does come out in this one.
Is
yeah.
it?
And this is good. Yeah, if I'm correct, he comes out in that. Let's see. IMDb.
Yeah, because like I see the other dude. I think you guys were talking about a different actor, but the girl's husband. That
Yeah.
dude, he's like he
Justin
comes
Long.
out like in a lot of those. I guess like the Seth Rogen films.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. And what about the old lady, man? She was.
Oh, yeah.
She nailed the part, dude. You think that was a real eye?
He's creepy as hell in this.
Yeah, dude, it's so disgusting. Like right off the back.
Yeah,
That's why I thought
are you
like
guys
this.
into that? I'm not into the whole.
I like. Oh well, it just depends. It just really depends on what kind of movie you're watching. Like Evil Dead, it goes crazy. Like this one, I think because it was PG-13. Now that I know, I'm like that makes sense. Like okay, they didn't show so much of gore, but like they did use a lot of disgusting like parts.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts was the garage scene, man. When he tells her no, and she's left, and she's leaving for
Oh,
the job.
with the metal anvil. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. When she sees the lady's car, dude, and she starts fighting him in the car.
Oh, okay, the parking garage. Yeah.
The parking garage.
Fun
Yeah.
fact: the car that comes out, it looks. I think this is the lady that drives it. That's Sam Raimi's car that comes out like in all of his movies.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it came out in Evil Dead.
Evil
And
Dead.
it came out in
The Spider-Man also doesn't
the
get.
Spider-Man movies.
Really? Was that Uncle Ben's car or what was it?
Yeah, that's Uncle Ben's car. The
Oh shit! Okay, I did.
what is it, like a Cadillac? I think. I don't know.
I think it is.
Like
But yeah, he usually kind of like brings it up as a cameo. If
Yeah, that's
Bruce
just like
Campbell's
it.
not there, is not in the cameo. At least the car is.
Yeah, exactly. This
And
this is proof that they all exist in the same universe.
Hey, you never know, man. Directors like to do that shit.
And I think they also used it for the Evil Dead remake.
I
I
think.
think they
Did
also
they?
have it there.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
that one in a while. I remember it was good. I enjoyed that one a lot.
It
But,
is. It is good. It goes as crazy as the original.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it
Yokomoto,
does.
for like a lot of people that haven't seen this movie, what's one scene that you would ask them like just watch the scene and you'll want to watch the whole movie?
Well, I'd say like as far as like the biggest set piece, I would go for the seance.
The seance.
Oh yeah, the Sands
Which
was the
is
fun
like right
part.
in the middle, because it's right where they try to expunge the demon out of her.
Oh yeah.
But so you get this crazy seance where, I mean, you get the spirit. They're trying to like you have an animal sacrifice there,
Yeah.
but of course this is Sam Raimi rule, so everything goes fucked up over heels. And that's where, like, if you're a fan of Evil Dead, you could definitely see the Deadite influence in this.
And there's that
Because,
word again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When
is
she's
that-
like, "I'm gonna swallow your soul," and then they starts levitating and all that shit. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah, and just dancing right on the table. Oh man, that's so
Oh,
fun.
man, that's too freaky for my taste, man. I don't know why you guys like that shit.
Oh really?
And then like, can we talk about the goat in that scene? The goat is so awesome. Like, what does he say? Like, "You tricked me, you black-hearted whore."
What the hell, dude? And you don't know, what did you think of the lighting, man?
You know what? I'm like looking through the film right now, and it's so weird because like it doesn't look like a horror film. I don't know if I'm the only one getting that kind of vibe, but it
No,
just,
yeah,
it,
you're
it
right.
has this. It
It's
has
got a
a
little bit-
very, I guess, lively like lighting and motif to it. I mean, you almost feel like it's very similar to like. Well, the only thing I can really compare it to is like the Spider-Man films, where it's very bright. I mean, they're going in different settings, and even when the settings are like dark, like you're seeing the seance scene. It's still very well lit. It's very bright, as opposed to most other horror films that would
Yeah.
have a seance.
Yeah.
It's dark. It's muted. You want it almost to be that, like, the darkness is more scary than what you can see, because that kind of ambiguity like makes the audience think like, oh, what could be in the shadows? But this one, it's like they're all just kind of throwing it out to you. I guess that's where you brought up like there's more like gross out horror, because you're not really playing into there being this like jump and startle to everything. You're playing into it being like, we're not going to try to trick you. Like, whatever you're seeing in front of you, that's what the horror film kind of is, you know? So it's just really funky looking at the whole thing and thinking like this is a horror film, because it doesn't, off the cuff, it doesn't have any of the standard motifs, you could kind of call it.
Yeah.
Of like,
Especially because it's all like,
As far as lighting.
most of the scenes are in the bank, and the bank's always lit, you know?
Yeah, like it
Yeah.
almost feels like it's like it could be a rom-com if you
Yeah.
take it out of context, like certain scenes.
Yeah, you could definitely
good
see
so
it.
much. I mean,
Yeah.
what were
Dude,
you
the
gonna say?
first scene got my eye, man. Like, I didn't understand why it was all in Spanish. I was like, is this movie in Spanish?
Yeah. Which, by the way, who's that actress from, the Mexican
Yeah,
lady?
I've seen her.
I've seen
forget
her.
name, but she was in Babel, like right before this movie. She was in Babel.
Oh,
There we go. Yes,
Yeah.
like Babel. She's the one who takes the white kids to the big old wedding party. Speaking of weddings,
Yeah.
Carlos.
It's all right, man.
But yeah, like I was like, it was killing me the whole time. Like I was like, who the fuck is she?
And what did you guys think of the boss, man? I've had that type of boss, dude.
I
just so
I
corny.
haven't had
I
a
still
boss
have
like
that
that.
type
Like
of boss.
they're like over the top characters, because like the Arrival, he's just right off the back a dick. Like
Yeah.
the Chinese dude, or excuse me, I don't know what kind of.
Nah, he's like a
yeah, like he's right off the back a dick. Like he's just like those
who's always kissing to the boss and shit.
yeah, like kiss asses and shit. Like, and it pisses me off. It's just like, I hope they die.
Hey, that means nails the role, man. I love characters like that. Nail the role.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but yeah, like this is why I'm still like at the one point where she starts throwing up blood all over the place and all over her boss. How did I get a PG-13 rating? Even with that scene alone, I think that would have been like R already because like, they don't like the blood being red.
There's this thing where because I think you told me you saw the unrated version, right? Recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the theatrical version, that scene is not as bloody, you could say. Because in the unrated version, like it goes like a bit further on, especially like her throwing up from her mouth.
Yeah.
But in the theatrical one, it's just like she just throws like blood, like a lot of blood from her nose, and that's it. But
what? Because in this one, yeah, like I think she sneezes or like I don't know, something causes her to cough.
She just does this and just
and then like she starts squirting blood all over it and all over her boss, and it's like, what the fuck?
Well, you guys like that, right?
Yeah, like it's just funny. I think it was a CGI blood. I'm not sure because there was a lot of CG here.
No, it was practical. It was actually practical. I remember the making of that scene. And yeah, because they were going through like a lot of ways to kind of like do that effect.
Right.
And I do remember that they actually did that practical.
Nice. Yeah, it's because like there's a lot of scenes where like I think they mix a little bit of practical, but with like really bad CG.
Which I think it actually helps for the mood of the movie because
it fits the movie. It's supposed to be like very cartoony, but like the movie sort of takes itself a little bit serious, not extremely serious, but like the characters, like they're real people, right?
But one thing that pisses me off about like horror films is how can you not kick a little grandma's ass? You know. How do you
that's morally wrong.
Get her out of the car, man? Just break your hip. You know?
You don't go kicking like grandma's asses and shit.
They're trying to bite you and take your soul. Yes.
Castro.
Well, I mean, she was already dead.
Man. Like, are you going around practicing, like, just in case some little old lady's
dude, she did defend herself against the lady. Remember, in the whole car scene, like I beat you, you bitch. Like, it has like those classic.
You know, see that
those classic. It gets like what? Because usually horror films, they're screaming and yelling, they're all scared. Now this one, like they defend themselves and they have their one-liners, like, "Yeah, I beat you, you bitch."
Pretty cool. And what I love about that scene is that right after you get this big Godzilla moment from the old lady when she just comes out like with a big it's filmed like if it was Godzilla coming out.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
And you, Eric, what's one scene that you love from this one, man? That you gotta watch the scene.
The scene is it's gotta be like I think it was a homage to Evil Dead where she goes into that tool shed and then it has the anvil there. Like it's just so she opens the thing and it's very Evil Dead because like that's what happens in Evil Dead.
The shapes
and it's ridiculous. Like who the hell has an anvil like that just being like out there hanging by a rope?
Yeah.
And she has to cut the rope. Like it was like out of the Looney Tunes. Like what the hell? And then like of course a shitty CGI like happens to squash her face, and then the eyeballs pop out and goes into her mouth.
Choke on.
Oh my god,
that was so cool that you actually see the eyeball going into her mouth. Like,
yeah, I remember that scene so much when I first saw it. I was like, what the fuck? Like it was so over the top. I loved it.
And what do you think? What's up?
No, go ahead.
And what do you think this one separates from the other like horror films, man? Because this one was actually it was all about screams, you know, and little spooks. But what made it different?
It's the comedy. I think it's just
comedy, right?
It's
the willingness to punish the characters, as I said earlier.
Well, yeah, I like how Justin Long is that typical boyfriend that doesn't really believe her, but then little by little is like, okay, we should really go talk to somebody right now.
See, like this is it's a good husband, all right. He still supports her after all this crazy shit, anyways.
Yeah,
like he did fuck it up for her.
Okay, like this one just seems more fun than anything else. And in like Halloween, like you can say, oh, it's about the scares, but like I don't think everybody would say that that's like the core of Halloween. It's that fun element of, I guess, kind of like playing with the macabre, even though you're not really like a part of it. You know?
Now you're just talking shit about Halloween, the movie.
No. I'm talking about like, you know, like the holiday itself. Like really, you can't say like, oh man, like October's the scariest month because you have crap like Halloween Town on Disney Town. You know, like not saying it's a bad film. It's a great film. Carlos, anyway.
Yeah.
But no. It's stuff like that where there's a fun and kind of dabbling in this macabre or I guess kind of like the pretending that there is this supernatural and all that, but not thinking of it as like a real fear or like something that's going to actually harm you.
That's one thing I've noticed is like throughout the years, people have kind of stopped believing in like the paranormal. In my opinion, I guess I have because I haven't seen anything.
There was
But I'm still believing the cursing and everything, man. Because I had this one girl. Here's a quick little story. I had this stalker that used to stalk me back in like elementary.
Las brujas tóxicas.
Yeah, dude. And I remember
she screamed Lamia everywhere. And
she used to call my house and ask for me. And then when I want to pick up, nobody would answer. It was just weird. Just you could hear like the... And my dad would say, no, but she said it was Paulina or something like that.
Wait, so Darth Vader was calling you?
No, wait. So one day, my dad's wife told me that some girl came over and asked that she left a sweater over. But she took one of my sweaters. So I still believe in cursing and that voodoo shit, just not the paranormal stuff.
Just don't date brujas, bro.
No, yeah, but I think it's more against like paranormal stuff is going away now.
Yeah, there was a phase where like it was all I think Paranormal Activity made it popular, like the whole paranormal, and it was fun at first. It was okay, you know. I wasn't a big fan. Yeah, not just Paranormal Activities, but like the style paranormal, like possession. And there was a time there was just a bunch of like possessed found footage, or like possessed, like my mom's possessed, like The Conjuring and Annabelle. Like it was all like.
Which was the one that started? I think Blair Witch. I think.
It started, but I don't.
Yeah, they started the found footage for. Yeah, that was Blair Witch.
And then it was like Cloverfield.
But funny enough, there's a way older film than Blair Witch. Which one? Found Cannibal Holocaust. That's a found footage type movie.
And there's also The Last Broadcast, which came out of like a couple of years before.
Oh, yeah, the last podcast sounds freaky as hell.
The last broadcast.
The podcast. They didn't have podcasts. Well, I think they
did. Ahead of its time.
They didn't have internet, but they had podcasts. Nice.
It was radio shows, all right.
It was a radio show. Oh, it came out in '98. Ooh,
which one?
The Last Broadcast.
Yeah, something like that. It was like 1 or 2 years.
Dude, there's something about those home movies, that old school footage. It's still freaky, you know.
Oh yeah, like movies like Creep. I don't know if you guys seen those. They're on Netflix.
I've been wanting to watch it.
They're pretty good.
I forgot who the main character, because he's kind of like a big star now. That guy.
I'm not sure. He was just some freak.
Like Mark something. I don't remember.
Yeah, because he like invited people over to his house, and he would pay them, right, to film his like life, I guess.
I have no idea.
And he like kills people. He's like a serial killer doing the documentary.
Dude, my type of horror films are like Jeepers Creepers. You know what I'm saying? Those are my type of.
Those are more along the same lines of Evil Dead. Like they're pretty much there. I think
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, that one's just a music video from Zombie.
The music video Thriller.
It's so wild. And then
well, here's a good question for Yokomoto. Who's your favorite director in all this? Like, is it him, Raimi, or?
Would you say that it's Martin Scorsese?
If you talk about horror, yes, I do. Sam Raimi is one of my favorite ones in horror. Mostly because he's not afraid to just have fun.
Especially with this one, man.
Yeah.
What's one of his latest ones?
Oh, as far as horror, he hasn't made horror for now.
Is he branching out to something else?
Well, I think the last thing he worked on was the Ash vs. Evil Dead, the show.
Yeah. He did the first
after that. I'm not sure. He was just a creator of the show. I think he directed like the first episode or something like that.
Yeah, he's been more of a producer.
Yeah.
And he his company. I don't remember right now the name of his company. Like he brings a lot of like horror movies. Like the most recent horror movie that he brought was The Grudge, the 2021.
Oh, okay.
But as far as him director. Oh, well, thanks to him, we have the director from Don't Breathe, which is also one of my favorite ones now.
Oh, dude,
you know what?
Director.
I know which one it is, but it's like a crazy movie, huh? Like
it's about the guy that he's blind, right? And he's securing his house. Dude, that one caught me off of surprise. That one's pretty good.
And who's also the director of the Evil Dead remake.
Oh, nice. Because the remake was pretty good, like.
And I'm seeing here that it's got a 6.5 out of 10. So did it win any awards or?
Which one?
Recognition.
Which one?
For Drag Me to Hell?
Oh no.
I think it was just like.
It's just like a
it
cult
came out
classic
and it was
movie.
forgotten.
You guys.
That's all it was. I think that's what it was because like even for me, and I'm a big Sam Raimi fan. I only saw that one time it came out, and then like I think I forgot about it or something. It never got like because it just never came up again later.
Yeah, I had like a small, I guess, opening. I guess.
But yeah, like
when
that's
this
true.
movie came out, I was in like right at the tail end of my high school, and I was like barely discovering this horror world because I think it was during my high school years when I started like actually watching horror and fell in love with it. And I had just finished watching the Evil Dead trilogy, and then out of nowhere, I start seeing this commercials like, "Oh, Sam Raimi's gonna do another horror movie." Like, I was like, "Yes, I'm there." So
Nice.
I go, and I remember I went like at least 3 times to watch this in the movie theaters. 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Really?
So you're
And
really
the
you're a
second-
big fan of this one.
Oh yeah, man, I
You
love
know,
it.
like it goes to show how much it is and isn't like taking itself seriously as a horror in the sense that it came out like May 29th. I don't think it was ready to compete with all the horror films that come out like in October and all that kind of stuff.
What came
Like-
out that year?
It's still the dark arts right there.
The dark arts. I don't know.
This movie came out what
2009.
2009.
Huh?
Now, is this one of your favorites, Yokomoto, or where would you place it in your top
Came
5
out
crazy
the same.
horror?
Oh wow, 2009 was crazy.
It's not in my. I will say it's not in my top 10 to tell the truth.
Oh wow.
It is one of those that I see it out of a ritual, more of a ritual type of thing. If October comes, it's definitely one of those I'm gonna be putting in.
Oh, okay. I was gonna,
Nice.
start asking some real questions now with that. Like, are you into like the whole voodoo stuff? Do you believe this stuff?
Oh
Do you
no!
practice it?
Do you practice it, man? Do you collect
I mean,
buttons? What's
You
going
got
on?
kids on the way, so you have participants.
No, as far as in reality, no, I do not believe in this. But I do like movies that at least in their world make me believe that can be had.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And York, for sure, you believe in this stuff, man. You're part of a couple cults. I know, man. Come on.
Oh my god. I don't look. It's a very interesting like concept, or like I guess like whole spirits and ghosts.
Oh, well, I'm talking about everything: spirits, the dead, voodoo.
Well, I believe that there are dead people. Yes.
I believe there's
You believe like spirits are still left in the world after they die? You don't believe like it's it, man?
It's. I mean, I wouldn't know what to say. Like, I could easily say, "Nah, they're fuck ghosts. Like, where the fuck are they?" You know.
Have you ever
But,
felt
like,
anything or saw something in your house?
Not me personally, but I've known
Your
people that they've experienced like I
They
guess
swear by
evil
it.
doings. But I do believe like it can do harm, like witches, like or like doing just to curse someone, you know. And that could happen. It's just
Yeah, I
it's
believe in
all
that too. I
it's all
still
like
believe that.
manipulation of like energy. I want to almost say it's very complicated. I mean, shit. I'm the last person you should ask me. I don't give a shit about all that. But yes, one thing is that I won't deal with witches. Like if some girl tells me, "Oh, I'm a witch and I hex and I do this with bones," like fuck, oh hell, I'm not talking to you, honey.
What about green witches? Because apparently there's categories now.
Any kind of witches, like don't ever trust a witch. Like I've seen enough movies.
You've seen enough to know.
I've seen enough. I've seen the movie The Witches by it's a book by Roald Dahl, and they made a movie about it.
Oh yeah,
That one, like I was like, ever since then, I was like, fuck no, I'm not dealing with witches.
Is it the witch? Just the witch?
No, that one's also like a very good one. The Witch.
That one's
But
the witch is like from the 90s, and it was
they were so freaky, man. Except for Hocus Pocus. I mean, those are just like cartoony.
Dude, Hocus Pocus scares me, man. Those 3 ladies.
What?
They're freaky.
It was
They
a
remind me of
CGI
my
cat.
yes.
Oh, man. That one lady with her jaw, dude.
And then but yeah, man, like I don't know, like I mean, I'm skeptical. Like I could like be like, oh, okay, that's kind of freaky, like you know. But then
But do you believe like in Satan, like Lucifer? I know you're friends with him, but
oh my god, no, I'm not a satanic or anything.
you don't believe in like
It's just hard to say. I mean, is there a hell? Like I don't know. Like I could easily say like I'm an atheist and just no, fuck no, nothing exists. But like, hey, I'm open to
Well, that's
ideas.
what my
right?
next question was. Is like, who are you voting for?
But presidential, like, they're both
Astro, what are these
demons, so,
questions? Like, it goes from like, what's your favorite Sam Raimi film to like, who are you voting for? This progression.
Well, if he votes for Trump, we know this guy's evil.
Absolutely wild. Damn.
Oh my god.
Well, then, now that you
This
want to
podcast
talk,
gonna
do you
age well.
believe in this stuff?
Man, I don't know. It's like Eric, because with Ash, my girlfriend, like, she says that in her family there's like brujas and all that kind of stuff. So like,
Oh, God.
I could go and dive into that and try to figure out what's going on, and she absolutely believes it. Or I could just kind of wait back, and if anything happens, I'm just gonna not think about it too much, and I'll be fine.
but you know
gotta do
what
the
you're
husband
saying
does
right
in the
there.
movie. You just gotta like back her up, all right? Like, even if you don't believe in that shit. Like,
Yo, but you know what that means, though, right? Like, if you ever like fail her,
oh yeah, that's a
might get a
horror
lump on your
movie
ass.
waiting to happen,
bro,
bro.
you're gonna have to
Watch
find
out.
these weird little folks. Like, what the hell? What was
No,
that?
see, you just we can't move to Mexico like in most films where they just like, I'm just gonna grow a mustache and go to Mexico. I probably got to go to Canada.
Wait,
just to be
so
safe.
Dude, that's like my plan B for most things, dude.
so if something were to happen, like if her family lives like part of Mexico, right? And they're like, oh, we gotta go to a funeral from like Cole's family that died. Don't. All right, that's just a
Don't.
horror
Especially
movie
in
going to
Mexico.
happen to you.
Oh no,
You're-
they're always like 5 miles away.
You know,
and
it's a trap, son. Like if
Yeah.
it's like
carry that thing close for like 3 years. Like, what are we burying?
Like, wait a minute, the grave's empty, and then they just push you in.
speaking of
They
graves,
already had their headstone with you there.
oh god, the destroyer.
Nice.
But speaking of
before
grave
we-
scenes, man, like the grave scene in this movie was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, it's shot really fun. Man.
It's over the top. It's like, what is she also says another one-liner before she like stuffs the envelope into her mouth, the lady's mouth.
Isn't it choke on it, bitch? Or
Oh yeah, choke on it, bitch, and then
And then she kicks her jaw with the
yeah,
envelope in it.
Now, is there gonna be a sequel? Do you think there's gonna be a sequel?
No,
I doubt it.
this is a one-off.
No.
Nah, it's
It-
Oddly
it's a-
enough,
it's a
right now,
one-off.
I just googled Dragging Me to Hell, and the first thing that came out was Dragging Me to Hell 2. I'm like, what? There's a second one? But nah,
There's a lot of people that have been wanting a
You know-
second one, but then again, this doesn't
Well,
have
here's
to
the
be.
thing. We were bringing up like that year. Like, why is it that it just kind of slipped under the radar? This is the year Avatar came out, and Inglourious Bastards, and
that's
Gran Torino, and I don't know, Moon. You know, like they also had a Friday the 13th remake. Like, it seemed like a pretty interesting year movie wise. Also, Twilight. Twilight
Yeah.
was still a thing in 2009.
Ugh. That's
You're
true.
welcome.
Well, it was barely starting. I think it was at that point. It was what New Moon still.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah.
I'm
Not
surprised
that
you knew that.
I'm,
What the hell?
I just figured out what New Moon was. I'm like, what the fuck is that? Oh god,
Oh, I thought you
like,
said
never mind.
December. I was like, hell yeah.
I hate Twilight. So like,
I got the
Ugh.
collector's editions and everything, man. What do you mean?
I never
Okay.
gave it a chance, so I don't know.
they ruined
full
like
disclosure.
vampires.
Full disclosure,
Shiny bodies.
my wife loves them, so I bought the 10th anniversary set that they were having, and which
10th
actually
anniversaries.
the posters are actually really good. Like that's what I loved about them. Like they're actually really well designed posters. But yeah, that's why I have that whole collection.
Yoko, if you get a collector set for a movie and the first thing you compliment is the posters, there's something wrong.
The posters are real nice,
like,
but the,
like you watch the entire film and then you turn to your wife and she's like, "What do you think?" It's like, well, that poster. I mean, it's good quality paper.
That's what he does, though. You can see why.
It's holding up. You know.
Although I will say
Quality.
that last movie is actually really damn good. It's actually
Oh,
pretty
God.
fun.
I would have to get
The
the
I've
ending
only
is-
seen the
ending is
first
pretty-
one, and I just no, like I didn't bother ever like looking that way anymore.
Is that
was
the last
so
one is more
bad.
like this big superhero thing, and there's like at the end there's like this big ass battle where you see heads being ripped off and everything.
Oh
Like,
god,
Wait,
It
what
was Avengers before the
the fuck did
Avengers.
this happen?
it was a one.
So
They're
that's
trying to
pretty
be. You know, they probably realized. You know what? Our movies are pretty shitty. Like, let's throw in a badass
Exactly,
battle
that's what
scene.
happened. Yeah,
Let's
that's exactly-
copy. Let's copy. What's that movie? Underworld.
let's go underworld with this.
Let's go underworld with this fucking movie. Like, okay.
All right, and before we wrap things up, I want to ask a student of the dark arts over there, Austin Young. What did you think of this film?
Don't you dare say okay.
Don't just say your famous one word.
We know, Austin.
It was good.
It was good. Did it scare you, man?
Yes.
Did it, make you poop your pants?
Use your words.
Who you fooling, Austin?
All right, anybody else have anything to say about Drag Me to Hell?
Yeah, I just want to go a little bit more on that. One of the things that make this a different type of horror movie is that the fact that in a lot of horror movies, you get that whole typical jump scare thing. Where it's just a big lead up, but you get the jump scare of a cat comes in and then that's it.
Right.
Or
Cat
just
comes in,
somebody
moves over.
pops up and it was no danger really. It
Right.
was just the fact that the music was there. What I like about basically all the jump scares in this movie is that every jump scare has a follow through. If something's about to pop up, be ready because that means she's gonna get thrown away, or someone's gonna get killed or something like that.
Yeah, it's true.
It's not just a jump scare for being a jump scare, and that's really what separates it apart from a lot of other horror movies. If you can, if by any chance you haven't seen this movie yet, you decided to actually go through this podcast, thanks for that first. But do go and watch this movie. It's really damn good. It's really fun, especially in this
It's a fun
October.
movie, especially for those who like horror films. Because a lot of people might be like, "Oh, it wasn't even scary." Well, I hate that. I hate that saying. Like, it wasn't scary. Like, well, it's not always gonna be scary.
Yeah, you got to get into the story.
Yeah.
Hey, one quick question too. Has a horror movie ever won like an Oscar or something? Or
I think so.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
what was the question?
I feel like it would have to be like, damn, it would have to have a good story, lighting.
I mean,
Maybe a-
maybe Silence of the Lambs.
Don't have
Maybe
a-
Kubrick?
Did that win anything?
That's not
As
really
far
a
as
horror.
horror movies, there's been 6 horror movies nominated as Best Picture,
Oh, okay.
which has been The Exorcist, Jaws.
Yeah, I was thinking that one. Probably
Get Out.
Get Out was one of them, Black Swan, The
Alien.
Sixth Sense, and The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, nice.
That's not a scary movie. It's a real movie.
It's a horror movie because it's based on a cannibal.
And Wallace and Gromit, best animated horror film.
Wallace and Gromit.
Were-Rabbit,
What's it called? The Night of
The
the Living
Were-Rabbit?
Rabbits.
Yeah, Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
What the? Oh god, that's it, Hollywood. Fuck you.
I know, man. Taking this shit.
Okay,
Hey,
and
Wallace and Gromit is good.
Yeah, it was a
And-
fun movie, but like, really, the best
yeah.
animated one? Well, I mean, really, what is other animated horror?
what else
out
would
there?
challenge that year? And as we like to start off towards the end of every episode, starting from last episode, Gastro, our actor on standby. What actor would you like to play in this film, or what role do you think you'd really like to dive into on this film?
Besides the old lady, just give
Yeah,
me makeup
besides-
and
I could see you going full out, old lady.
I mean, like there's a lot of variety. There's, you could play the lighter roles, like the husband that just has to be there.
you know what? I mean, obviously, I would go with the Justin Long. Be the. Were they engaged? They were engaged, right? Or just dating for a year?
he was about to.
He
propose,
was going
actually.
to engage
was
her
about to-
until she got dragged to hell. Spoiler alert.
No, yeah, like I would like to be that guy, like the optimistic boyfriend. But I kind of like the what's his name? The guy that they go see, that does the whole voodoo.
Oh
guy.
yeah.
I don't know if he's Indian or
Yeah.
Mexican or
Oh yeah.
I think he's I think he's Indian. Yeah.
he's Indian, right? I could pass off as Indian, man. Come on. But no, I really like his character too. Like he's the one that when they first come in.
Like,
Yeah, like the main character here is like,
Rao.
Yeah,
yeah.
Dylan Rao.
because I feel like in horror films, you're either a perfectly normal person, or you're like the demon monster entity and all that. And
Right.
I don't know if you feel like as an actor, that's also a fun role to play, being like a creature, and then going beyond, I guess, normal acting standards. You'd probably say, so you can
Or-
embody that.
Oh, you're saying like since
That's the thing with horror films because like you have like the normal girl, the one that we're supposed to relate to.
Yeah.
Then you have all these fucking whack ass characters. Like they're written like to be absurd.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'd probably go with Justin Long or the Rao, the guy, the exorcist guy, the exorcism guy.
Ram Jaws.
Yeah, man, I
Just-
like those characters, man. I like the first scene where, you come to this guy knows all about the afterlife. Let's see if it's real, and then the reaction you get from the guy where it's like, you know what? I'll give you guys a refund. Like that's when you guys you gotta feel that. If not, the movie's not gonna make it. That's what he did. You know what I mean,
So you really felt like that character helped emphasize that, at least for these characters in the film, it's a very real situation.
yeah, it tells the audience
Yeah.
okay, this girl's not crazy. Like this guy studies this stuff and he's even scared, and his
So
reaction was
weird.
real.
Every
Actually-
time you get in a character, it's always been this supporting role. I always think you're going to be the main person. You want to be that girl that
You
gets
should- you should
thrown
But
be
I
the
don't want to
girl,
go
man.
with the obvious. Like obviously, I want to be the girl, and I want to be give my own style to just be
Yeah,
the.
you want to perk up, right? You know,
Hey, you could be the goat, man.
I got the head going now. You
you
know.
could be the code. Bites
But,
the-
Dude,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
'cause
man, I love all
there's
the
this,
characters.
there's this one scene where, bro, like the goat gets possessed, and like it just moves, and then it starts to that was a callback to Evil Dead 2 because of the deer
Really?
that starts to twist and shit. Like, oh my god, I
Just
was
the way
like,
it moves and everything.
and it's like how it talks, you bitch, like you fucking whore.
It is a little freaky. Yeah.
Have you guys seen that movie? It came out this year. It's called Extraordinary, and it's like it's gonna be a weird sounding genre, but it's an 80s Irish horror comedy, if that makes sense. It came out this year. It's called Extraordinary, and it's
Was,
Will Forte?
was that like a Netflix thing or?
no. It was supposed to come out in theaters, but then the whole COVID thing hit, and I was gonna go and watch it at the Alamo. But then, it got taken down. But if you want to watch it, it's on Alamo on demand. Like you can go and rent it from there, and it's a pretty fun film.
Real quick, is it a funny film?
It's a funny
so
film.
it's
Oh,
extra.
because I was like Will
It's
Forte on it.
extraordinary. So it's two words.
Extraordinary. And
Extraordinary.
it's a play on the Ghostbusters motif. I guess kind of like this. There's this girl.
Okay.
And she does paranormal investigation, but she doesn't really want to. And even people bring up things like, "Oh, so you trap ghosts like Ghostbusters?" And she's like, "Oh, I haven't read that one." And she's completely oblivious to this whole thing that's out there.
Oh my god.
Well, just to kind of give you how wacky the film gets, her father was a paranormal investigator, and basically they have to possess themselves so they can help the ghosts transfer over to the other side.
Okay.
And her father was saying, "Okay, I'm going to absorb the ghost, and you need to exorcise me or do whatever you have to do." And the ghost was of a dog and of a possessed pothole, and the father accidentally absorbed both ghosts, so he became half pothole and half dog, and she had to exorcise. It just, as you can see, it just gets wacky from there. But it's definitely a fun film.
Wow. It looks like you
Give
were
it a
just
try.
inventing half of that, dude.
No, I swear, it's such a stupid scene, but it's great. You
Oh
gotta give it
no!
a try.
Don't even worry about it. There's probably even stupider scenes out there.
I'll watch it
I
because
mean-
it's got a Will Forte, a SNL alumni, so
Yeah.
for sure I'll watch it.
I mean,
Some-
you guys watched the John dies at the end?
I've seen trailers of it, and I was kind of interested, but I never
Yeah, I
got to
think
it.
I've seen it. I don't know if I've
That's
seen it.
pretty absurd as fuck. Right at the beginning, there's these two guys trying to fight this ghost, and basically what it is that they open this meat refrigerator, and every single part of the meat becomes this one entity.
Oh
And you
god!
just see this
Why?
big entity.
It's
meat
like the
monster.
monster from Stranger Things, almost like it's all a piled
Oh,
up
yeah.
meat. That's cool.
But yeah, okay, to wrap things up, we like to go back to the Tower Crown with
Tower Crown.
Yokomoto.
It's about that time.
About that time, man.
All right. Well,
Get the Spook Fest
yeah.
going. Ooh.
Well, for the first ever October Tower Crown, and so this is a debate show for where the debaters don't always know exactly where they're going to be debating for.
Don't you be lying, Craig.
So we put up a poll on Facebook this weekend, talking about, since this is a PG-13 horror movie, so the poll was about PG-13 horror demons. So, just a little quick reminder of them. They were Insidious. Let me put this up. Okay.
Oh, that's a freaky ass photo right there.
Insidious, The Last Exorcism, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, and The Ring.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That Ring scared me when I first watched it.
So y'all chose, and actually, I was pretty surprised with the turnout. There was a lot of voting. I think this is the most votes that we had out of all of them.
Really?
Nice.
But the two that came up were The Ring against Insidious.
Wow.
It's got
Very
Darth Maul.
different.
How could you not?
So who's gonna take this one? Who's gonna go for which one?
So just in case, especially since we have a guest on, a little bit of how the rules are going to go is that we're one host will be debating for one of the movies, another host will be debating for the other movie, and as one moderator will be in this, we're just going to see which is the best PG-13 demon movie.
Oh.
Eric Sanchez, are you going to pick a side?
Yeah, I'll pick a side, I suppose.
So,
Which one?
Oh man, that's tough because Insidious is pretty good and Ring is pretty good, and I think I just have to go with The Ring. It's extremely it's extremely memorable. Everything with the VHS tapes, and then they call you, you're gonna die in 7 days.
Let's save it.
And it's the look, like when she starts coming out from the TV, it's just that's fucking creepy. Like anyone at that time had a box TV with that static thing. So like the thought of that coming out from your TV, yeah.
So for this one, since it's a horror movie, I'm gonna be entering in as a debater, and I'll go for Insidious. And I don't know who wants to be the moderators on this one.
You got it right here.
You got Michael DeLao.
All right. Okay, in that case, let's start off with The Ring since you were already prepping up.
Ooh. Go for it, Eric.
Well, what do I say? Just like to back up?
Wait, it's just good. You already started, man. It was true.
I know.
The VHS
Okay,
tapes, dude.
so
That's
bring that
true.
passion back. Bring that.
Yeah,
passion
basically, like when this movie came out, like it was a whole thing. Like it was the girl coming out from the TV, and then I remember going to haunted houses when I, like around the neighborhood, like they would do that, like the whole TV thing, and it looked so fucking cool. And it's just like the look. Like I like the really grainy look or like the blue look every time she would come out, and like you wouldn't really be sure. I haven't seen a movie for a long time, but you wouldn't really be sure how they would die. They would just be dead or something.
And this was back then when we still believed in this stuff, and those videotape.
We were still a little bit more ignorant. We were ignorant.
Yeah.
Just kids or we were younger.
And
then especially with tapes, because I feel like the whole with tapes is scarier for some reason because that belonged to someone at one point.
Yeah, and it's really it's harder to manipulate too. So
yeah, because it's compared to
can't
like
get
now.
possessed off Netflix, right?
Exactly.
See, like this, but the thing is, this movie has to only work back then. Because how would a Ring movie work now? Like, don't watch this. Don't watch this. Don't open this PDF file or you'll die.
No, they tried to make a movie like that where it was like an app. Like if you downloaded this killer app, like
God,
you would die in like 7 days. And, yeah, but like. It's such a lame premise because I mean, like, you just delete the app once somebody dies. Like,
big deal. Like,
but then the next day it's still there.
You could always sell your phone. Like I know. Go pawn.
It updates itself, and now it's app 2.0.
Oh my god, the Ring too. It updated.
How many rings were there?
I think there was 3.
In the US, there were 4 of them in total.
Wow, 4.
Ring 1. There was another one that was like direct to DVD, and then Rings came out.
Rings,
which was, a couple of years ago. And actually, there was that whole scene where they're all in an airplane, and the actual footage comes in there with the TVs.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen that one.
It's not good. It's not a good movie.
Yeah, it was too many.
Yeah, and then it was weird because it's also a Japanese like origin. Like this is a remake. This is an American version, and it's not bad for an American version. I think I haven't seen the Japanese one, but they always say that the Japanese is better. But it's just like I like the style of the movie. It's just the look, like the whole like
Well, the first one was
like the
with,
asshole people like, let's watch this horror film. But like it's so funny how like the guy tries to convince the girlfriend to watch the movie. It's the scariest shit ever. Like it's so scary. You don't even want to watch it. Why would you say that? Just say it's like a porno or something, and then we'll watch it.
Hey,
Yeah.
no, sometimes it's kinky, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So, with that being said, I just like the scene where like she comes out of the TV and like it's a VHS tape because that's what I would watch when I was younger.
Yeah, and it came out in like the perfect time where like, you know.
Oh yeah.
All your friends were like, you know.
And I mean, of course, they were being replaced by DVD, I think, already by the time.
Yeah. and that wouldn't be believable because, you know, then the DVD gets scratched and, you know.
Yeah. Burning
Okay.
the CD too. Like,
Oh,
it's so
those,
bizarre.
Insidious.
those 90s problems.
All right, now on to the
So-
next one, Insidious.
So with Insidious, the reason why I think this is a better movie, though,
Damn,
it's, first of all, it's made by James Wan, and James Wan is like right now it's one of the masters of horror, of like recent horror. He's the one that directed Saw. He also brought this franchise. He also brought the Conjuring franchise. Like his movies are just like very unique, in the way he with very low budgets he can create this atmosphere. And then with this one, we go back to what's fun about horror. Like with this one, they just went campy with this, and that's what I love. That's what I love because they were able to put in like all these things with like ghosts and how they interact with the environment a lot of the time.
What was the premise of the story? That one of his kids gets possessed and then the dad has to go to the other world, right?
I think it's
what happened?
astral projection, or what is it called?
Yeah, something like that. So basically, they start getting like this possession, like hauntings in the house.
Right.
So what they do is that they move from the house. That's what I like. That's what I like about this movie. They actually say, you know what, fuck it, let's move, and they actually move. But the thing is that they still get haunted, and that's when they realize that they brought in a person, paranormal person, and she finds out that the kid is the one that's actually being possessed, and it has to do with that astral projection thing, and so it's all about like saving his soul basically.
But it's also like he like we find out later in the movie that he also like it's following him too, right? Not just the kid, right?
Yeah, it was like a family line type of thing.
Yeah, it's like a what was
That's
it?
why I
Like there
like
was like a second ghost that was going after Dad. That wasn't
then
his
he-
one.
He gets stuck on the other side, no? Or
It was like a lady,
It's like
right?
I forgot about this movie.
Yeah, it
I
was a lady, which I think the second one is when they explore that one more.
Yeah, because this one leaves off on a cliffhanger.
on a cliffhanger. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But what I like is that this one is also like one of those that where the buildups are so great, and right when the jump scare happens, like you see something happening.
Dude, the kitchen scene.
It's not just
The kitchen
Yeah,
scene with the
kitchen
camera angle when you see that guy right there. Oh
Yeah,
my
when-
god! The first time I saw
with
that,
this
when he's just next to
guy.
him.
That's one of the. I gotta say that's one of the best scares I've had. In
Yes,
like,
me
recent
too,
years.
dude. Because you don't see him, and then you see the face of the mom, and
They're
then
talking a story. They're telling a story, and then out of nowhere, you just see this guy like run it there, and like, oh, fuck.
yeah, I think that was perfectly filmed. That scene right there, man. That's
Yeah, I think my favorite scene on Insidious is the part where like it's very subtle, and I think like the camera's panning or like tracking, and you see in the window there's like the demon dancing. It's like gone right away.
yeah.
It's just it's very
Out the
subtle.
window. Na, 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 na.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Those are freaky.
That song is just. I do remember
Which
that. Like it always
it comes.
keeps me
I
right
first
in the
heard it
background.
on SpongeBob, actually.
That's even more
That's
freaky.
true.
I think it's the one where he's making all the patties, like in the when he gets the job.
Yeah. Of all things.
But anything else, Yokomoto?
Like I just think this is like although The Ring has this history, Insidious just helps bring the whole horror.
Yeah, brought it back
especially the
for
haunted
a
house,
while.
to like this whole new heights.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Who's the main character in The Ring? Do you remember?
It was a Natalie. Was it Natalie Portman?
I don't think. I'm not sure.
No,
Natalie.
damn it, no.
No, not The Ring.
What's her name?
Because I really like the actor for this one, for Insidious.
You know what? I was about to say the girl from Scary Movie was like, wait, wasn't it her? But like, no, that was just the
You're
parody.
thinking of the Pamela
movie.
Anderson
Yeah,
scene.
just,
But
what was her
yeah,
name?
I'm not sure. Let me look that up.
Not Naomi Watts, right? No.
No, the Ring.
oh, you know what? It could be.
Ah, wow, the Ring came out in 2002.
Yes.
It
that
was
old?
Naomi Watts.
It's a pretty long movie for a horror film. 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Oh shit! I forgot how long it was.
Damn.
A ver. The lady, yeah, Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts. Wow, that's so freaky.
And then, damn, the Ring girl is pretty hot too. The Vay Chase. That was the Ring, Tamara.
Oh, she is pretty cute.
But
All right, any extra
So-
points you want to give for
I
your
was
movie?
gonna ask for The Ring. What do you think separates it from other horror films? I think that's a deciding factor.
Or at least from this one.
Because I was about to say, well, media kills you, like, or some bullshit. Like, but it's not the first movie to do that. That where the media tries to like kill
Would you
you.
say that this one kind of started though, or is there something else where like, unless you want to count like books that get possessed or something?
It's hard to say. I think it's basically for me what did it. It's the creature or like the monster in the movie or demon. That
Yeah, the
coming out
mystery
from
of the tape. Yeah, the mystery of the tape of who's the girl.
Yeah,
and
it's the
why.
mystery behind the whole thing. Like because like that tape.
That's why people
Yeah,
wanted
it's
to
like-
watch the film.
Because like imagine that tape you just happen to find it at Blockbuster and like you rent it and then you watch it.
would you
and,
watch it like
oh
knowing?
shit.
I probably would.
Exactly. Like, see, like, or this tape could have
Oh,
also been
that's
like,
good.
could have been like they recorded the tape from. So I don't know what they recorded into it because that was a big thing where you just record everything you wanted on a tape.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the whole thing. It's cool. Like, it's very stylistic, and I also love the lighting in it, like the whole blue thing. Like it's almost like it looks like a haunted house. I think that's what I feel.
Okay.
With
And
the strobe lights and stuff.
any last words for Insidious?
For Insidious, I mean, can you also give me something that you feel like separates it from other horror films or things that it's trying to compete with? I feel like for horror, it's a really complicated genre just because so many films come out that are horror, especially during like October and all that. Like you're never gonna see a year that a horror film doesn't come out, you know. So like, what keeps it kind of standing, you know?
Well, as far as for Insidious, definitely, I think it has to do a lot with just the aesthetic, the fact that it was bringing ghosts like in the first movie. In the first movie, it was like at least like 5 ghosts, and every single one had its like way of being. I mean, the fact that we have this Darth Maul guy, like it's just so memorable. Like
It's so bizarre. Like why everyone compared the monster to Darth Maul? I'm like, where do you see it? Like it's just a red face. Like,
Come on, you don't see it?
he has a nose. Like Darth Maul barely even has a nose.
But I mean, just the color scheme and the...
I mean, I could
Yeah,
even
and
easily
also-
said, "Oh, it's a devil."
and also like the fact that it was such a cheap movie to make, like it brings back to especially this new era of horror where they try to do more with less.
Dude, 26 million got 500 back? Woo!
Damn.
Horror movies are cheap, man.
Damn, that's pretty good.
And so you see like a lot of these like camera techniques, especially that's another thing. James Wan is great with the camera work. The way he
That scene, that's
with almost every movie that he does, just the way he introduces like the first time that you see the woman that Patrick Wilson is haunting.
Yeah.
The first time that you see her, like you also just kind of have this glimpse in the mirror, but the way that the camera goes in, it kind of like explores it while Patrick Wilson is there. It's just so unique and brings a different creepiness factor. There's also this one scene in this one where once he goes to the underground or the other world, he sees like this this image of in the living room where this woman is like killing her two daughters
Yeah.
or something like that, but he sees it like in frames. Like
That is
you
pretty
don't
cool.
you don't see the moving. You just see like
Neat.
one time she's standing there, then like the camera moves around, and then out of nowhere you just see her like with a gun, and then at the other. So it's like this very unique style to it, and that's why I think it really separates it from a lot of it. Its style.
And I guess I would have to ask, and you guys have to be truly honest. Which one would you recommend today?
Insidious.
Good question.
I know I hate to put you in the spot, Eric, but you have to say The Ring. But
Well, for the sake
we're
of
talking about how like VHS is not as people don't even know what the hell VHS is now.
yeah, I'm thinking because like Insidious it's a pretty good start for anyone who's not into like horror films, because that one has like a very like heroic, I guess, sort of thing.
But if you wanna tell them like take them back to old school horror, The Ring is perfect.
Do you think The Ring would hold up?
Yeah,
Yeah, it actually does hold up.
For horror,
Actually does.
yes, for sure.
Because if any horror movie, it will hold up. I feel because it was filmed at a certain time.
It has the elements of back then. The
It's kind of like
footage.
Halloween. They show Halloween every Halloween for a reason.
true.
It's the aesthetic because The Ring has aesthetic. It has like the VHS craze at the time. Or like everyone had a home video. So that was the scary part. So it could be nostalgic for a lot of people. So I think I would say like this: watch Insidious first because that's more modern, I guess. It came out more recent. Well, it's not even so much recent. It came out almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
And
Okay,
then
yeah.
and then watch The Ring later on because I think that one would be freakier. Huh. But yeah, in that order, I would say watch Insidious first, and then watch for like just for fun like The Ring because like it's Halloween season. Watch
Yeah.
both.
You want to go back to like the 90s and what people were watching, watch The Ring for sure.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
So-
I've made my selection.
De La O's bringing up all his points.
All right, so
Bringing up the points.
all the tally up.
Wrong.
Are we ready?
I just
see
tossed
which,
that to Yokomoto. There we go.
Yeah. Are we ready to see which one it is?
We ready?
All right, so here it goes, and it is The Ring.
Oh boy!
Ooh.
What are you win, guys?
Wow. I did not see that.
It was guest favorite. That's the thing.
No, you know
Favoritism
what?
here.
I'll say this. I think that Insidious, for a contemporary and new audience who's just jumping into horror, like you said, I think it's a good start off. It has a good story. It's got good directing. So, I mean, everything's well crafted. I feel like you can also argue the same thing for The Ring, though. And at least with The Ring, it has an aesthetic that you see a lot of people trying to copy. Like, I don't think anybody's trying to copy an aesthetic from Insidious necessarily. They're using similar horror tropes, but The Ring created this kind of monster that you see people still dressing up as, still trying to come out as, still adding into what is it called, like haunted houses, and it's a memorable character that no matter where you go, like you're gonna recognize that. Like they even came out with like I think The Grudge recently, right? Like a remake or something like that of it.
Yeah,
And
That is a remake.
and that's
It-
also a PG-13. Well, the first one.
yeah, and it's all playing into that thing that, something that came out long ago that even though the media itself isn't there and it doesn't have that same kind of weight that it did then, it's still something that you can come back to. And I think it's still something that's going to hold up, and it defined I want to say a small part of like the horror genre, maybe that whole like it coming out of the media or it's coming out of something, like something has evil within it, and then you get, I guess, like the monster at the end or so. So yeah, I'm gonna say The Ring. I'm gonna say The Ring won it.
Interesting choice.
Well, now that we're in the aftermath, the Ring. I will say something about The Ring is that it did pioneer basically J horror for the U.S.
Yeah.
So thanks to The Ring, we started getting introduced to all this all this
Japanese
big
horror.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Eye and the
Which-
Others and all that. Again, invited.
Japanese horror is very bizarre too. Like it could get very weird.
Yes.
That new one with the one that won, that's not considered a horror, is it?
It's
Which one?
just a thriller.
It's a thriller.
Parasite.
Yeah.
It's a Parasite.
Parasite.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's
what I went in thinking Parasite.
A crime mystery. Which I don't know why.
But yeah, Yokomoto, Eric, any last words before Michael?
Before I
I don't know. Any last words?
Okay, looks like it froze for a bit.
Yeah, it looked like you had a stroke there, and you had like a stroke while I don't know, like biting your lip or something. So you
Wait, are we gonna like throw a mention of Goodfellas in there really quick, or?
Watch Goodfellas.
Yeah,
No, don't-
but if you guys don't
don't.
want to,
It's
that's
the
fine.
worst
You can pick
gangster
out
film
Cable Guy
ever.
instead.
Worst gangster film.
Way better. Better direct.
I'm kidding. I'll get
Alright.
Goodfellas is fucking badass. So,
Not compared to this one, right?
And,
Well, ladies and
that's-
gentlemen, thank you for hanging out
you
today.
know, I've seen a lot of Jim Carrey films, dude, and I think that one's the most forgettable for one for me.
Hey, man, what the hell? Man, what you see in '96 when you're like 6 years old, fucker?
Okay.
All right, man, let's do this.
It's been too rough.
Okay, so that's it.
All right, man. Thank you guys for spending time with us in this episode for our first episode of the Halloween Horror Fest, I guess. Stay tuned for next episode. We'll have a trick or treat for you guys,
and to watch the film.
and to watch the film for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you guys, and see you next time.